Hi guys, it's Kelly Lativola here and I am back with another video. Today we are going to be using some products from scrapbook.com. This is the Mid-Century Flowers. You've seen this before, but this one is new and it's called Happy Birthday to You. So you know that I love stretching my stamps. You know that I love getting more bang for your buck. So I decided that I was going to turn the circle in the set into a bunch of balloons. That's basically what we're doing. We're going to do the rock and roll technique. So here I'm just showing you that I kind of had my colors planned out because I want my balloons to overlap. So I guess because I didn't want to risk getting any brown, like putting a green and a pink together or blue and an orange, so that when they overlapped, it was not a pretty color. So that's why I was just showing you, like, that was my pre-game plan. Here, and it's a short video for me anyway, you guys know that. But I wanted to do it two different ways to show you no matter what type of products that you already have, you can do this technique. The technique is you ink up with your lightest color and stamp it down. Then you take the stamp and ink it up with the lightest color again and roll just one edge, one side or the other, doesn't matter, or all the sides, that's cool too, into a darker color, and then that's going to give you some dimension to your balloons without having to even really do any work. So this is, I'm working on Neenah Solar White cardstock and using scrapbook.com ink. So you could do this with your, dye inks, things like that. Just make sure you're cleaning off the colors in between so you don't cross-contaminate them. You don't have to worry so much about cross-contaminating it when you roll it on the side because you're rolling in the darker color. So you're putting the lighter color ink onto the darker ink pad and you're never going to be able to see it. So I'm just going to go through and keep doing that. There's green, orange, blue, pink, yellow balloons. I did them both the same. So if you have these types of inks, you can do this technique this way. And I did it purposely without my MISTI to show you that, like, that's not necessary. You don't need a stamp positioner for something like this. It's just a, geometric shape. And they're really easy to line up because I'm terrible at lining up things. Like those builder sets for flowers, I own some of them, but I never use them because I can't line them up. I don't know what's wrong with me. So if I can line this up, I'm telling you, anybody can. So just went through that, and again, this is the one that's on Neenah. And then I'm just going to, once everything's dry, I'm going to go in with a pen. I'm using an EK Success journaling pen, but you could use a Copic multiliner, a Micron, a Sharpie, a thin Sharpie. Like any of those things would work to just draw in little teeny tiny bows at the bottom and their strings, the balloon strings, to make them like a grouping of balloons. I also, because dye inks, this is why you can't use them with Copics, because they do interact with alcohol. But we can use this to our benefit if they're not blending as well as we would like, by using your colorless blender to kind of move the pigment around a little bit. And then, because I hit blue, the blue wasn't really working for me. And then I did both of these cards the exact same way. It's the exact same card design. I'm using the black hybrid ink from scrapbook.com, and then I'm just going to stamp Happy Birthday. It's a large enough sentiment to carry the entire card and, not take away from the flowers. It's a really super simple design, guys. I couldn't keep a hold of my ink pad. Did you see that? But anyway, it's a super simple design, and these are really easy to, like, pop out a lot of them. The other way I wanted to show you, now I've switched to watercolor paper here, and so these are Distress inks. Distress inks I don't love for stamping. Distress oxides are wonderful for stamping, but typically you get a blotchy result where it just doesn't smooth out if you use distress inks to stamp with. But in this case, the fact that they're reactive with water, we're going to use to our advantage. So I'm going to go in with just a number 2 round brush, a smaller brush, and then wet this whole circle so I can bring that shading that we put down with the rocking technique out a little bit further into the balloon. And the reason that I chose Distress inks instead of Distress oxides, both of them will work. Pretty much any ink you own will work, guys. Is because I wanted to be able to blend them with the water and give it that more watercolor look. And they're much brighter. They're bolder than oxides because oxides are a hybrid of dye ink and pigment ink. They dry back, they're very pretty, but they dry back kind of chalky. And I didn't want that. I didn't want it to be soft. I wanted these to be fun, bright birthday balloons. So that's why I chose the inks, even though they don't stamp great, but totally fixing it up with the water. No big deal. And like I said, these are both the same. So Yeah, what's been going on with my life lately? It's just been a long week. Peanut is finally into summer camp. I'm telling you, parenting. Okay, I shouldn't just say momming. I don't know from a father's point of view, like, because I'm not a dad. I'm a mom, which means I do all the things. And so I had to take him for his first day of summer camp, and my guy is extremely shy. My little one is so shy. And so I took him to summer camp, and I was going to work from there. Like, he was going to be at summer camp all day. I was going to work, and then his dad was going to pick him up after he got off of work. So I walk him in. He doesn't know anybody. And so he's very apprehensive. And then they tell us, like, you know, he puts his little book bag in the back. You can walk over there with him. And when we're walking over there, he's like, Mommy, I'm scared. Will you stay with me? Will you stay with me? Can I go to work with you? And like, just like his eyes were filling up with those little crocodile tears. Oh my gosh. It was awful. I did not want to leave him there. I felt bad. But also I know that it's for his own betterment. We were very blessed when we had Nathan that my parents were retired and were available to be my childcare. Because then I never have to worry about my kid. Because whatever I would do for my kid, 110% my mom would do. So that was never even a thing. And I was very lucky to be able to do that, to not have to try to find a good daycare and all those things. But because of the situation, with my dad recently, they were unavailable to take him. And so I ended up taking him. But one of the big reasons we put him in was so he could get better at socializing. Because we were blessed enough to have my mom and dad watch him basically the entirety of his life. He never really interacted with other kids. He is the youngest grandchild by a long shot. I think the next closest one is what is Jacob? 20, I think he's 21. So there's this huge gap, and there's no small children on my side of the family for him to play with. And so we wanted him, to make some friends, basically. So I was super nervous. Leaving him, I just felt bad because he was clearly very sad. And then I think I got to work, which took me about 30 minutes from where I dropped him off at. And by the time I got there, the teacher there sent me a email message and was just like, just wanted to let you know he's having a great time running around. And then when he got picked up, he was playing with a group of boys. So very, very grateful that he found some people to kind of play with. He has not been sad since then when I have to drop him off. So that's a good thing. It just, you worry about them. They're your life. You're just letting your life go out there with no protection from their parents, and it just is nerve-wracking. I know I'm not the only parent who thinks about that, but I also don't want to helicopter mom him to death so he has no confidence in his ability to do things on his own. So that means that sometimes we're both sad about the situation, and then we have to just, grin and bear it and move on, because that's life. So, yeah, I'm just, for the card, that was pretty much it. I added some sequins, and I am using the, I think this is the Nuvo one, the clear glitter, and I just put that over the balloons, and then I called it a day. That's because I thought they were both super cute. Now I have just a generic for everybody birthday card, 2 of them, whenever I need one to just be on the go. So that's it. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye.